Uh, Good morning to one and all. Today we are going to see about the topic throwing and catching blocks with sample program. So, in before video we saw about exception handling, that is try block, throw block, catch block, everything. Here we are going to see separately throw and catch exception. So let us see the diagram. Uh, we are searching for object and throwable. So while throwing, two types are there. One is exception, other is an error. Error means how it will be stack overflow error, virtual machine error, out of memory error. This is normally like a syntax logical error, like that, runtime error, like that. These errors are stack overflow error, virtual machine error. These are machine error out of memory without disk space. There is no disk space. This is we are giving error occurs like an out of memory error. So in exception we have two types exception, check exception and uncheck exception. What all be the check exception, IO exception, SQL exception, class not found exception. Now we can see what all these exception. IO exception means input output exception. If we are if we are giving the input, suppose after program execution, after compiling, during runtime we are supposed to give some input, something, enter the A and B, like that. It needs any input. Suppose if we didn't give any input data that time, we will receive this IO exception. That is, suppose if we forget to give the input data, because of lack of input, this IO exception occurs. Then SQL exception, it is a query language. If we are missing any queries, it will be an SQL exception. Class not found exception. This may be occur due to in C++ programs, everything is an classes and object. We have to declare class name, constructor, everything we are declaring. Suppose what we are declaring as a class name, we are giving as for an saving that programs. Suppose that class name is not found during the execution, at that time this errors is going to be occur. Then uncheck exception. There are some uncheck exception. Arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, index out of bounds exception. In index out of bounds, array index out of bounds and string index out of bounds. So arithmetic exception means some arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Well set example, if we divide by 0, it is an infinitive. So by using that arithmetic operators, errors may occur. So those are an arithmetic exception. Null pointer exception, there will be null values. Then index out of bounds means, suppose in array, if while declaring in program, while we are declaring the arrays, what will be declaring index? It will be around 10 or 20. So what values, what array index you have to declare. So during the runtime also, you should not go out of bounds. You should not go to the out of limit. So that type of errors occurs by an array index. Same as well for the string index out of bounds. How we are talking about array? Same as well as string. If your string 10 names are assigned, so while giving input, if we give more than 10, so those index values changes. So these are some types of the throwable statement. So in C++ exception can be thrown when an error occurs and can be caught and handled to ensure the programs flow. So what is an throw exception and what is an catch exception? Throw exception means it is written inside the try block. So there we are finding the errors and we are throwing the errors to catch statement by the throw block. The throw keyword to throw an exception followed by an exception object from inside the try block. As soon as the program encounters the throw statement, it is immediately terminates the current function and start finding the matching catch exception. So in catch exception, we will be having the number of different types of exception types. So while we are throwing, in throw block, it searches for the well suited catch exception. This is the throw exception duty to do it. Catching exception. To catch an exception, we can use the catch keyword. The catch block follows the try block and it is used to handle any exception that are thrown within the try block. This is a simple program to illustrate that how we can throw and catch exception. So suppose we are division by the two numbers. We are initializing number 1 and number 2 and the denominator we are assigning as an number 2 is equal to 0, that is denominator is 0. When through runtime, what type of exception it throws division by zeros, and what will be result num1 by num2. Then we are going to declare the two numbers 5 and 0. We are performing the division by this, and here we are in catching the exceptions and printing that error that it is an caught exception division by 0. By using the error message, we are handling the exception. Suppose we can use multiple catch statement. Why to use multiple catch statement? So in try block, we can write our programming code. Here we can have number of error statement. That is, suppose it can be a array out of memory, array index out of bounds, or out of memory, arithmetic insertion. These three errors if we are having, we need three types of catch statement to catch those errors thrown in the try block. So this will be the syntax for multiple catch statement. In try, code which will throw exception, then catch block divide by 0, then something we have statements, after that format exception and many exceptions. These are the different types of the catch block. So here what you will do is, suppose in try block, if you found divide by 0 exception accurately, this catch block will be executed. After that, in format exception, if this error is done, this is handled here. Sample program. Suppose what will be the input? We are declaring ABC, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0 and C. Now what will be the B is equal to 0 to C, else C is equal to A by B. So what is here? If suppose B is equal to 0, we are going to throw C. Else C is equal to A by B, we are dividing. Here now catch character C. These are the catch block exception. What we are doing? Caught exception, character type. We are telling what is the character type. Next, catch integer I. Here catch block to handle the catch exception. So here what we are doing, same thing as in caught exception, integer type. So there is an character type. If it is a character type, it is going to throw us an character type, or otherwise integer type. Then shortest. So these are the three types of the catch block. Here about the shorten. So see how slash and hello simply. So given number is an integer, so caught exception integer type. After that hello is printed. So this is an program explanation. What is the main difference between errors and exception? So what is an error? Impossible to recover from an error. In exception, possible to recover. Yes, errors cannot be rectified, but in exception, we have many exception handling mechanisms to handle these errors. Here errors are of type unchecked, but here we have checked and unchecked. In exception, occurs at runtime, can occur at compile time. So errors will be occur only in the runtime, but exception can be occur in compile or runtime. Then caused by the application running environment, but here it is an application. Thank you.